there's a lot of things that are affecting our quality of life. There's a lot of things that affect how we perform and our longevity, our cognizance, how well we can remember things, our performance at work and in our private life, things that are just as important as the election, but they don't get as much attention, and the media doesn't want to tell us about all the poisons that are in our food because they're making a lot of ad revenue from the commercials and the pharmaceuticals and the drugs and just you name it. There's corruption. And there's a reason why people don't trust the mainstream media, and it's for that reason. And so today I'm taking some time to talk about another issue that is very important to me, and I think overall is very important, because at the end of the day, if we're not healthy, if our brains aren't working right, if we can't remember information, we don't stand a chance at winning this information war. And that's what it is. It's a war of ideas. It says in the Bible that we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities. And I really believe that. I think that this fight is not a fight in the streets. It's, violence is not the answer. It's a fight of ideas, and ideas are bulletproof. And so it's important that we, I think, get back to those fundamentals that we know create health, long life, and are sustainable for the environment, sustainable for our neighborhoods. They produce a healthy atmosphere, to raise your children in. And backyard gardening is something that people have been doing for centuries. And only in the last century, since industrialization and corporate monoculture farming, have people really gotten out of that lifestyle of raising your own food. And it's separated us from something that humans derived a lot of wisdom from, I believe. And it's getting back into the soil, tending to your garden, and having a relationship with the plants and seeing them grow, and having a understanding of the seasons that really puts you in tune with nature. It puts you in tune with the environment, and makes you a healthier person. You make better decisions. You better understand the quality of the food that you're eating, and why organic is important, and why spraying pesticides is the wrong answer for so many reasons. Bugs provide a lot of benefits to the food. Having a healthy garden is about having those different insects that bring a benefit to your food. It's not just bees that pollinate and cross-pollinate plants. Other insects do it as well. And so if you're spraying insecticide, if you're spraying all these things on your food that's killing the bugs, you're breaking a chain in that ecosphere, in that biosphere. The plants are dependent on those smaller forms of life, and it's poisoning your own stomach too. One of the things I wanted to talk about is this idea that health comes from a pill, and health does not come from a pill. It does not come from a corporation, and your stomach is the root of your overall health. And it's something that a lot of people don't realize, but our stomachs have been compared to our second brain, and that's because there's actually neurons in your stomach, synapses and everything. The part of your body that operates unconsciously, regulates your heart rate, your blood pressure, your temperature, everything like that. You're not thinking about that. It's just constantly happening. You cut yourself, you don't consciously say, well, I need to send out white blood cells, and I need to start clotting, and it's just your body just does that. And that's the part of your brain that's operating from your spinal cord, your gut, and the base of your brain. And it's really something I think that's neglected. And when you have sickness in your gut, you're going to start to see malfunctioning in your endocrine system and all over your body. And so I think if we can get back to treating our gut and find the root of sickness, which I believe in a lot of cases in the Western world is in our gut. The pesticides affect the guts of the insect, and they're affecting our guts. Sickness needs to be treated from a holistic standpoint. We need to stop thinking of how can we find the cure for this illness and start thinking about what is the cause of this illness? What is the cause of autism? What is the cause of obesity? Why is America number one in all of these illnesses and cancer, pediatric cancer, childhood obesity? What's causing us to be so sick? And I think it goes back to the gut. Our stomach is our second brain. When we talk about hypothyroidism, which is rampant across the United States, hyper and hypothyroidism, just malfunctioning endocrine system, it goes back to all of these enzymes in your gut that break down, that convert T3 into T4, that are supplemental to your hormonal system, your hormonal balance. And so if your gut is all out of whack, if your stomach isn't working, then your hormones are going to be all out of whack. Your energy is going to be low. You're not going to have good weight control. You're going to have issues with your eyesight. You could have ocular degeneration, macular degeneration. You could have your skin issues. A lot of these things are rooted in problems in your stomach. And if you have issues like leaky gut, you can end up with proteins in your blood that end up causing an autoimmune disorder. So, and I can't give people medical advice directly, but I can tell you that going back to a more natural diet, cutting out a lot of these chemicals, and thinking about my health from a causal standpoint and trying to clean out my gut and really just optimize the health of my gut enabled me to lose over 40 pounds and just change my whole quality of life. I hear a lot of people, they say, well, I don't want to worry about this stuff, I just want to enjoy my life. How much more would you enjoy your life if you enjoyed the way you felt and the way you looked, and you had more energy and you were more successful and your memory was better and your eyesight didn't go out when you were 30, and your hair didn't all turn gray when you were 25, and you didn't get cancer when you're 35. I mean, that's enjoying the time that you have here on this earth, being the best version of yourself. A big part of that is being healthy and having a healthy lifestyle. Yeah, you can still have a beer and enjoy your life, but maybe it just means paying a little more attention when you're deciding what beer you're going to drink, or you're deciding what food you're going to buy or where you're going to eat. Those are the things that really affect your quality of life, and they're going to affect your children too and their development. How much more important is nutrition for a child who's, their brain is developing, they're growing. These things are extremely important to us as adults, but they're even more important, I think, to our children. And we're seeing a generation of children that are being born into this industrial world where, for the first time, they're saturated from, cradle to grave with all this EMF radiation from the cell phones and the just watching television and sedentary lifestyle and disconnected from nature. And I mean, we need to really rethink the path that we're taking and make a conscious effort to include some of these healthier activities into our lives and also the lives of our children. And it's so easy. I mean, you sit out there and water your grass, or you have your sprinklers water your grass for what? We all talk about making the world a better place, and people are worried about global warming, but how about instead of just having a monocot like grass that just sucks up water, it's fine for erosion control. But what about growing some tomatoes and using that water and your dirt and soil for a positive thing, and teaching your children a little bit about plants, maybe learning a little bit yourself, and you're providing a habitat for insects that are a benefit, and they prevent pestilence. I mean, having a healthy insect and mammal population controls and prevents pestilence, and just these mosquitoes are easily controlled in a small pond with fish. Instead of pouring bleach into your pond, you could put some goldfish in there. They're just more natural, healthier things for the world. And so instead of giving your money to somebody like Al Gore, who's just going to, make laws and take more money from people, do something that really helps the environment. Grow a backyard garden. I'm up here in Auburn today at Jack Hertel, Organic Jack. He's got a little farm up here, and he provides a service for the community. He produces his own organic food, grows squash, tomatoes, everything up here, even wheatgrass, and delivers them all around the community to people at a pretty fair price, and does his part. But this is something that people could do in their own communities on a smaller scale. And in a lot of European communities, that's what they do. People communicate with each other. They know their neighbors. They say, okay, you grow this, I'll grow that. And they trade. And they're able to fill their refrigerator with healthy, organic food from people they know and could trust. And they save money, and they live longer, have a healthier life. So these are things that I think are just as important as the New World Order and Bilderberg and all that. Agenda 21 is all about taking people out of the rural community, cutting off natural resources, saying that all the water belongs to the United Nations, and all of our natural habitat is UN biosphere, and it's really just about disconnecting people from the rural communities, moving everyone into these urban ghettos, and putting everyone in small micro apartments where they can just slowly, I guess, turn off the power and turn us all into some kind of weird Brave New World beta humans and social engineer us. And I think the answer is for people to reject that message and instead get back in touch with nature, get back in touch with their humanity, reclaim their birthright as a human being, which is this garden that is Earth. As humans, I don't believe humans are a plague on the planet. I think, and that's what Bill Gates and Al Gore would say, is that humans are a plague, that the world is overpopulated. I don't believe that. I think humans have a choice. We have freedom, free will. We can burn the planet, or we can turn it into a garden. We can go into outer space, terraform other planets. I think it's up to us. What are we going to do with this opportunity that we've been given, this amazing planet that we've been given?